It was reported over the weekend that the government are planning immigration legislation which will test the bounds of international law. If the legislation is rejected by the European Court of Human Rights, Rishi Sunak is allegedly, I'll believe it when I say it, prepared to trigger the nuclear option and withdraw from the ECHR. The government would then use this as a pledge for the next general election in an effort to appeal to the Brexit voting majority. Joining me now is one man who suggested that we simply ignored the court when they blocked our Rwanda policy. It's the MP for Stoke-on-Trent North. It's Jonathan Gullis. He pulls no punches, which is why he's perfect for this show. Gullis, how are you?
I'm good, my friend. How are you? Good to see you talking all that common sense. That Alan Smith, honestly, it's amazing that his ego and self-importance fits in the Palace of Westminster. I promise you that.
It's remarkable, isn't it? It's absolutely remarkable. Let's veer ourselves slightly back onto the topic we had you on to talk about, though, which is the ECHR initially. From where I'm sitting, Jonathan, I'm not sure Rishi Sunak actually has the bottle to either A, pull us out of it, or B, ignore it.
Well, look, let's wait and see. He's told us that this legislation is coming down the track, which is going to very bluntly say that if you come to this country illegally, you can't claim asylum. Hooray for that! About time too. But he's absolutely right in his thinking that if it goes through our sovereign parliament, if it gets passed through all our domestic courts, and then suddenly we find the ECHR's meddling in it, then guess what? It's time to leave, because the ECHR should have no jurisdiction over our laws and our borders, which we voted very distinctively in 2016 and in 2019 to take back control of. It's as simple as that, Patrick.
You know, it really is. But are there going to end up being ructions within the Conservative Party? Because, let's be honest with you, they don't all necessarily think like you. I would argue that maybe your way of thinking is aligned with the vast majority of the British public. That's anecdotal, but I suspect it is. But unless you can convince members of your own party to think the same way as well, it will look really bad for the Tories, won't it?
Well, look, I hope we avoid the blue on blue that we saw even during the Brexit debates between 2017 and 2019. This is an easy win here for the Conservative Party because it's delivering, as you say, on the people's priorities, on what the will of the British people was back in 2016 and in 2019. And it's a very clear dividing line between us and the Labour Party, something that I know some voters feel isn't very clear this day and age. A Labour Party who, let's be frank, will just give more money to France, process quicker, aka approve more people coming over, which fuels the smuggling gangs model and essentially is free movement through the back door. The Labour Party are talking about doing deals with the European Union. Stephen Kinnock, another overinflated, pompous ego, who tells but doesn't say what red lines that he would be willing to put in place for any deal to be done, aka we're going to basically rejoin the EU. These clowns in the Labour Party can't be trusted, and it's up to the Conservatives to prove that we deserve to have that vote lent to us once again.